because the exterior of the house looks haunted, looks like a ghost house, and I am not exaggerating. The floor is not even. If they're sick in the head, they can just open the doors and get to my bedroom and kill me. Vancouver, a big city that is highly unaffordable. I have lived here for some years now, and I have moved my house for 3 times. So I think I would be qualified to speak on the house hunting experience in Vancouver. Last time I moved my house was just a month ago, which is in the end of June because of a mice issue in my previous place. You should check out that video. It's terrible. There are a lot of things that I just couldn't stand in my previous place, which I am so grateful that I can find this place. There's one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, which is I do not live alone. I live with other roommates. I do that because it's affordable. That's the only reason. Yeah, the rent in Vancouver, it's insane. So if you want to find affordable housing, you should do house hunting, not apartment hunting. Apartments are expensive. When I do house hunting, I'm only looking to rent for 1 room. So my budget is around $900 to $1,200. And with this range, you are gonna find some sketchy houses for sure. I mean, duh, if you pay more, you're gonna get better houses, better rooms. But, you know, we don't make that much money yet. So this is what I had to deal with in the past. Without any further ado, we should begin the story time for today. Let me start off with the most diabolical one, which is, there was one time a landlord hit on my friend. And spoiler alert, he has a family. 2 years ago, I planned to move in with one of my friends, and at the time, I was the only one who was in charge of house hunting because at the time, she wasn't available to do that. By the way, I want to say, I asked her permission to tell this story. 2 years ago, I found a house in a little bit past Metro Town, and it's a semi-basement suite for just the 2 of us. So it's pretty great. We have 2 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, yes. 2 living rooms. One is a smaller one with a kitchen attached to it, and the other living room, it's bigger. The landlord who showed me the house is a guy, and he looks like he's in his, I would say, mid-40s, and he said he has kids. He mentioned his children because they live above ground, and he was wondering if we would mind the noise, like, because, you know, kids, they run around and they play piano as well, so he was just wondering about that. So I was like, I don't know, maybe it will be cool, but I need to confirm with my friend. So I asked him, hey, can I add you on WeChat? Because I need time, my friend needs time to decide if we want to rent or not. Because my friend, she's not here, so I have to report to her about the situation, the piano situation. And after that, we can get back to you. And he was like, cool, let's make a group chat. Mind you, a group chat on WeChat. For those of you who don't understand what WeChat is a communication app for Chinese people. That's what Chinese people use. Sometimes it sucks more when the bad landlord comes from your own people. But let's continue the story. At the time in the house, I felt like the landlord was a good person. There's nothing weird or strange about him. I didn't feel anything weird. So I was like, cool, that is just a regular schmegular Chinese uncle. When I was in the house, he asked me this one question that I thought is normal. Since my friend was not there, so he asked if he can look at a picture of my friend. I was like, cool, because I feel like it's not a really strange question. Because when you see the house, typically the landlord gets to meet all the tenants, right? So I thought, well, because of my friend's absence, the landlord wants to see what the potential tenants looks like. I'm like, cool, I'll show you her graduation picture. So I found my friend's pictures on her Instagram and I just show it to the landlord. And I didn't think much because it's a very normal question and my interactions with him were normal. I know you have some questions now, like, so when did you notice he was strange? I mentioned the group chat, right? That's a very important lead. So the same night, after I visited the house and I went back to my place, I talked to my friend, and we started asking questions in the group chat. Very normal. And I introduced my friends to the landlord in the group chat. Here is the part that gets weird. I didn't know this, but my friend told me this afterward. The landlord added her contact privately and DM'd her privately. So I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why did he need to do that? Like, if you have any questions, you can just ask in the group chat. I'm gonna have to read the receipts on my phone because I cannot rely on my memory. So the moment when the landlord added my friend separately to talk, that's the point that makes me feel like he's a creep. But I'm like, you know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, let me tell you, me and my friend are two different kinds of people. I am very straightforward. I cannot tolerate bullshit, so I get to the point, and I have a very strong resting bitch face. So when I meet a new person, I'm gonna try to keep my smile on, but it looks awkward. So like, it looks like this. Like, it's just a tiny bit of smile, just a tiny bit, but still, it's a little bit awkward. But my friend is different. My friend, she has the biggest smile. She is sweet, she's innocent, and she's too nice. She's too nice to the point that she's not good at turning down people. She's not good at saying no. That's according to her. That's what she said back in the time. I tell you this because I want to mention my friend is excellent at negotiation in a nice way as well. So when she negotiates, usually she gets what she wants from the other person. It's a skill that I need to learn. So after the landlord added her separately, they started to chat about, I think the rents or something about moving into Vancouver, because my friend moved to Vancouver just 2 years ago. I remember she told me that she talked to the landlord about moving into Vancouver. She's too new, she knows nobody. So hopefully the uncle can take care of us a little bit because we are away from our families. To see like if he can give us like a discount on the rent. After my friend brought up the topic that she's new in Vancouver, the landlord became oddly nice. So the landlord talked to my friend like saying, hey, I can help you to move furnitures with my trucks. I can help you to buy groceries if needed. I was like, that's weird. I have never heard of a landlord who would do that. I felt like he's a creep very early on, but I wasn't sure because what if he's nice? That's what my friend said as well. What if he is just an overtly nice person? I'm like, sure, okay. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just too nice. He wants to help us to get groceries because we don't have cars. And after this part of the conversation, it gets super weird. It gets super weird when he offers to help my friend to find a rich guy to marry, and he said he would teach her how to get a divorce after a year of marriage so she can get, half of the property and money. Point number 2, offers to be friends with her even though we might not rent his place. What? Point number 3, he offers to drive her around and show her the city. This one is not so weird compared to the previous 2 points. Point number 4. He asked my friend to not call him uncle. Instead, refer to him as 哥哥. If you don't know Chinese, 哥哥 means older brother. It's like a nice way to refer to boys or men who are not that old. But it is also like a cute way to refer to guys. And he said he's only 30 years old. Oh, I thought he looks mid 40 years old. And point number 5, he texted good morning to my friend the day after. I mean, we're just here to do business. We're doing a transaction. Why do you need to do this? It's hella creepy. It's hella weird. After hearing so much evidence to prove that he's a creep, I'm like, the guy's a creep. And the only reason that he didn't do that to me is because I'm a very straightforward person. You can't do this bullshit to me. So we decided to not rent this place because, duh, So here's a tip for you to determine if that guy is a creep or not. If you feel uncomfortable during the interaction, he's a creep. Run. Now let's move on to the other 3 stories that I'm about to share. The second house that I found so disturbing that I feel like I have to share it with you guys is because my room design is creepy. The room design is creepy. I walked into the house. It's a big house with, I think, 4 rooms. I think all the rooms are upstairs on the 2nd floor, and my room is in between the 1st room and then the 3rd room. So my room, you can say, is like the 2nd room, okay? When I walk into the room, it's small. I mean, the room is only $800, $850. Now, why did I say the room is creepy? That is because my room is connected to a bathroom. Now you're thinking, what's so creepy about the bathroom? There's a door in my bedroom that opens to the bathroom. And I thought, that's nice. I have a bathroom in my bedroom, so it's like a suite. Yes, but it is also a suite to the next room. I think I have a video clip. If I have a video clip, I'm gonna put it here. This bathroom, not only my bedroom has the slide door that opens to the bathroom, the other bedroom also has a slide door that opens to that bathroom. The same bathroom. So it's a double entry bathroom. And the slide doors, doors, do not have a lock. This is a safety hazard for me because I don't trust the other person on the other side of the bathroom. Like, why should I trust them? I don't know them. If they're sick in the head, they can just open the doors and get to my bedroom and kill me. I mean, this is very obvious. I don't know why people would rent it there, despite the fact of this obvious safety issue. Also, there's one thing is so weird about the entire house, which is you cannot use the public sofas. Why? I know I pay for the room, but usually when you pay for a room, you get to use the public areas as well. So you can use the living room, the kitchen, you can sit wherever you like. It's not the case in this house. 3 big sofas in the house, and they're all wrapped in plastics. So I asked the girl, Joanna, how come they're wrapped in plastics? Don't people sit on them? And she was like, well, because my family, we don't live here anymore and we just don't want people to sit there, so we wrap them in plastic. What? So you're telling me you just rent actually just a room to other people and just expect them to be like livestock, basically. You just eat, shit, sleep here, do everything in your room, and cook whatever you like in the kitchen. That's it. Do not hang out in the living room. Obviously, I don't like the room, and I do not like how the landlord treats their tenants. It's weird. The third house that I want to share with you is a ghost house. That's a perfect description of it because the exterior of the house looks haunted, looks like a ghost house, and I am not exaggerating. I'm telling you because I have a picture of it. So 2 months ago, I did a lot of house hunting, and during that time, I found this house. I got there by bus, and as I walked down the road to get to that house, all I saw was rich people's house. So those houses are big. One of them has a fountain. So I was like, that's amazing. I get to live in a rich neighborhood. The house is gonna look fantastic, right? Judging by the neighborhood. So I was really excited. So as I walk faster to get to the house, I walk past a house that is so deserted, it looks like a ghost house. It is so abandoned. The house looked like it's about to fall apart. I'm like, damn, it would be a shame, a pity to live there. So I kept on walking because I thought, there's no way that this is my house. There's no way. And as I walk past just one house, I'm like, the address doesn't look the same as the number on the house. So I walked back and double checked on that ghost house. Guess what? That was my house. Let me show you what the neighborhood looks like on Google Maps, okay? And that is what my house looks like. And you know what sucks the most during this entire experience? I went to the wrong house. Well, technically, I went to the right address, but the landlord listed the wrong house. So I wasn't supposed to be there. And the landlord did not answer my text for an hour. I told him, I got here, can you show me the house? He didn't answer. I called him, didn't answer. So I knocked on the door anyways because I got here. So I was hoping if any tenants can show me the room. And one girl opened the door and I finally get inside the house. I get to see what it looks like. And of course, I couldn't find the room because I was at the wrong address. So I wasted 1.5 hours. And of course, I didn't rent that house because the house is terrible. When you get home, you look at this ugly house. I'm like, no, it will affect my energy, it will affect my mood, it will affect my vibe. And also, I don't trust that landlord's execution on anything. And let's move on to the fourth house, which is also the last house in this story time. I visited a house in Metrotown and the house itself is quite big. There are 4 rooms on the second floor and 3 rooms on the ground floor. And the room that I was about to view was on the ground floor. The problem with this house, it's the layout for the ground floor. Somehow it just feels like a jail cell. It feels like a prison without any sunlight. Like literally, there was no sunlight. If you live in a room that has no sunlight in Vancouver, that is the fastest way to get depression. This was the picture that I drew. So this is the layout for the first floor. This is the front door and this is the staircase to the second floor. But we're just gonna talk about the first floor. This is the hallway. The problem with the hallway, there was no windows. And the hallway is pretty narrow. So the width of the hallway is about the length of both of your arms when you extend your arms out. And maybe it has a little bit room left, maybe like half a meter. So it's super dark and the ceiling, it's quite low. It's not super low, but so I think the headspace is about like only this much. Yeah, when I walked in the hallway, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to live here. So there are 3 rooms on the first floor. So room number 1, 2, 3, and they all lay out in one vertical line and you have this really narrow hallway. Doesn't this layout just remind you prison? If you pay attention, I put like a little box with an X for each room. That represents a window. The strangest thing about all these rooms on the ground floor was that even though they had windows, somehow it's still dark. I'm wondering, is it because all those rooms were facing the fence, the neighbor's fence, and that's why it blocked a lot of sunlight. Also, one more thing, for the third room right here at the end of the hallway, the floor is not even. Of course, I didn't rent a room there because, I live in Vancouver. I want sunlight. I want as much sunlight as possible. That's all the stories that I have for you guys today. If you live in Vancouver, watch out for your potential landlords. Pay attention when you view the room. And also, pick a room that has sunlight.